feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 4, 5, 6, 8, I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. 10, kiss me in the rain. Children, we're just children. Children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. 10, we're just children. Children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. Children, children.
Hello and welcome to another fantastic week of Formula 1 racing here on SLR. We pride ourselves on delivering top on-track action such as overtakes.
Oh, Danny on the inside, sorry, Danny on the inside.
And of course, where would we be without some crashes and drama?
Pace around this track.
Oh, and spinning is Canopis. That's his microlander of the inside. No, Danny.
And lots more. What started out as a fun idea quickly developed and grew into one of the most influential and recognizable online F1 leagues across the F1 platform. Every new season saw more and more big names join the roster, all battling harder and harder to claim the coveted SLR title. This season will be like no other before it, the strongest lineup we have ever seen. Old champions rejoining to battle the new top dogs of SLR. All of the tiers in SLR are fielding their respective strongest to date, with much to fight for and achieve. But if you have come to witness Titans battle Titans, well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Tier 1. So here we are on board the Mercedes with SLR driver Wamski. Heading down into turn 1, you want to be braking around about the 100-meter board, and you want to keep it nice and tight on the apex to give yourself a really good exit for turn 2. But A lot of people are quite prone to spin there. DRS activated, hugging the left-hand side. Turn 4 is a good overtaking spot after turn 1. But you don't want to run too wide here. It'll throw you out of that treacherous gravel trap. And as brave as you want to be over 5 and 6 here in these curbs. And then turn 8, heavy brakings over turn 8. Getting that car nice and under control early as you possibly can. On the throttle for turn 9, and then the most difficult braking zone in probably the whole calendar is turn 10 here. Nicely navigated by Wamsky. DRS activated up through the gears. Now you'd be only looking for roughly around about the 15-meter board, a little dab on the brakes, drop it down to the 5th. You want to get as early as possible on the par to get a good exit here, because you will be pretty much flat out all the way. Again, usual braking point there. Nicely navigated by Wamsky. Only one more corner to go. Looking smooth as anything here. Just at the curb, 100-meter board. Again, on the brakes, drop it down to the 4th gear. Being respectful of that final curb. On the par, DRS activated. And that completes a lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. After a long period of waiting, we are finally back here with SLR Season 7 on the new F1 2021 game. It is a new installment of the Codemaster series, and of course we head into our next season with a full new driver lineup, but an old commentary lineup with me, Timo, and Tara alongside me. Hello.
Yeah, hello Timo, hello everyone, good to be back, good to be doing this once again. It feels like it's been a long off season, that's because it has. And we're back here in Bahrain with what should be an entertaining qualifying session and hopefully an entertaining race, no rain, like we had in Spa earlier on in real life, but plenty of good drivers here to make this an entertaining show.
Yeah, for sure, and we have got the lineup on the screen right now. It's all been shaken up. We've promoted some people have left us, but this grid looks absolutely stacked, as I'm sure you all know if these names ring any bells. We've got a load of champions on the grid. We've got, of course, Yari, who won in Season 6. We don't have Season 5 champion Yugos. We have Season 4 champion Julian, who has returned. Speedy isn't there, but we've got Copy from Season 2, and Ethnic TRN, who won the Season 1 championship, our first season, has also returned alongside Copy in the Williams. So that means we've got 2/3 of our champions here, and that means it might be the season for the first SLR 2-time world champion. I'll be really interested to see what is gonna happen.
Yep, I think it's going to be a very fun one. Yeah, we've got Etney returning after a long break from SLR. He's been doing other things, but he heads up the all-Czech Williams team with Copy. We have Luke Smith putting in a 24.4. That is an incredible lap. Yeah, that's an incredible lap.
I don't know lap times yet on this game, so I can't judge that, but I'm gonna trust you on that for sure. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see who can beat him. Of course, there was a little bit of a, I guess you could call it a scandal. It sounds overly dramatic, but it probably fits the bill. We had last season, of course, there was a little bit of an incident in Brazil, which leads to the fact that Yari, Damien, and Jay are excluded from the first 3 races. And Yari, of course, having won last season, that means that those who weren't able to challenge him last season might get a head start here of 3 races of points collecting without him in the way, and that could make the season extra spicy. Vexit being the one, having finished P2 last season, who is likely the favorite to win if Yari isn't there. And that lap he's just put in there is certainly is certainly solidifying his claim to the top.
Yeah, that is a full half-second faster than anyone else in this session. And yeah, 24.4 is extremely fast. I think I know in the tier, I'm not sure about tier 2 yesterday, but the tier 4 race earlier this week we had a mid 25 as pole. So to be a full second faster than that at somewhere like Bahrain, where there's only a few corners, is really good going.
Yes, certainly. Bahrain. I wonder about the strategy. It's been interesting in past games. I remember people like Sam Idiot, for example, doing interesting shenanigans there with running puncture territory for 2 laps in the entire race, just because it was apparently really OP. I wonder if something like that has returned here. It's of course our first tier 1 race here, so it remains to be seen.
Soft medium is marginal but very possible. So I think we might see a lot of drivers doing that. We might see a lot of drivers going soft hard as well. If you're not in the top 10, then probably medium hard is slightly faster than soft hard, although it's reasonably close. That's the sort of general lay of the land as far as strategy is concerned. Milan goes P2 with a 24/7.
Yep.
But yeah, we should see a mix of strategies today.
For sure. So Vexit is also... Wait, has he improved his time, or am I just really bad at remembering stuff? It's 0.4 now. Wasn't it 0.5 before?
0.4. That was his time.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. We're off to a good start here. Milan on the second row as a rookie. Makenda also in third, which is a little bit of a surprise. He's always been, I would say, bottom of top 10. And I think that's fair. So him making the temporary step up after 1 or 2 runs of qualifying into P3 is at least a good first sign that I shouldn't read too much into, but it's an interesting note for sure.
Yeah, I think that's right. And Makenda has always been solid, if not necessarily spectacular, but certainly that's a spectacular lap. 25.0 very early on in the session puts him P3. And we'll see what he can do from there.
Absolutely.
Who else do we have? Oh, I was going to say, who else do we have on track? We've got Vexit's back on his outlap. We've got Milan, who I think is on a hot lap at the moment. Oh, no, he's not on a hot lap, excuse me. He's about to start his hot lap by the looks of it. Oh, no, hang on. He's on an in lap. Never mind. There we go. Third time's the charm.
We tried it all. We were right eventually. That's great.
And yeah, we got Danny P4. It's a good lap from Danny. I know that Danny's been doing quite a lot of practice for this one. I know he did a career race with you. And Bailey puts it 24.9. So he's the third driver into the 24s.
Yeah, and it's the same kind of charade every single season. Like all of the drivers who didn't, live up to their own expectations, saying, yeah, I'm a changed man now, okay, this season is gonna be the one. I can probably put my finger at least like 5 to 10 people on this grid who have that sort of attitude in chat. Bailey is probably the one who I buy it the most when he says it, because he's put in enormous amounts of time for this one. He has proven himself in other leagues as well on this game already that he is a front runner right now with his pace, and now it's just his time to deliver an SLR and maybe put himself on the top step after he missed out in Season 3 narrowly.
Yep, absolutely right. He's certainly going to be coming at this one with a vengeance. We know he was part of the beta, I think, as well, and was putting a lot of hours in during that as well. So certainly he has put in the time, and we'll see if he can make that extra step. Who do we have on lap? We've got about 6 minutes left of the session to go, 7 minutes or thereabouts. If we can just see the time through the yellow flags just for a second, that would be nice. But yeah, 6:48 to go in the session. We got Marion, who is on a lap.
Vexit has had a big off there, but I think it was on a push lap. Yeah, he's thrown it off the road in turn 11. I have driven the setup. It is a loose cannon for me, but that's because I'm not the best driver. He should be able to control it. It's kind of overdone again.
Good lap from Luca, and Marion's about to put it towards the front as well. P4 from Marion in the McLaren, but yeah, very, very good lap from Luca. 24.7 puts it in P2.
Absolutely, he follows his friend Vexit. I think they do quite a lot of things. They are probably in BC right now while they are driving, and now they lock out the front row.
Yep, and Danny has just started his lap, so he's looking to improve on his 25.0. As we see a lot of drivers on their second runs. This won't be the last one for them, but they'll certainly want to put a good time in here, not to put themselves under too much pressure. A couple of things to note. Jensen all the way down in P14 at the moment on a 25.4. I don't know what his pace is like around here, but I would expect probably he'll improve on that at some point. We've got Tier 1 debutant Dane the Dangerous, or at least full-time debutant Dane in Bahrain in the Alfa Romeo, and he's just behind his countryman in P15. Copy hasn't put a lap in yet. Let's see what Copy's situation is. He's going to put one in very shortly indeed. I don't know how good it is, but in the Williams he's going to cross the line very shortly, and I would expect him to put a somewhat competitive time on the board as Milan goes P3, Etney goes P4, and Copy goes P11 on a 25.1.
Yeah, he'll want to improve on that. Probably not happy with not even making the top 10, but then if you look at the timing board, I mean, his mate Etney has just put it in P4, as you mentioned, and he's only 0.3 faster. So this field is really, really close at the moment, stretching from especially P5 to P11. Marginal gains can mean massive position gains. Really.
Yep, absolutely right. Jensen saying in chat that he's practiced 2 hours for this one, so maybe not the most amount of time that anyone has on the grid, but certainly putting in a good show given that.
Yeah, I talked to him. He said he's ready. We can't continue the chat because he has to go now to show me the true pace of P12. So he's three places off the expectations. I hope he can live up to his ambitious goals that he set himself.
Yeah, another couple of tenths and he'll be right. Rainbow has put it P5 as well in the Alpine on a 24.8. So one of our newer drivers, Rainbow, doing very well there.
Yeah, he and Danny have got things to prove. I don't even know if this is like broadcast relevant, but he and Danny were driving for VRT, Vortex Racing Team, I believe it is, and they were X'd. I believe they didn't think they were fast enough. So they've got something to prove, and I want to see it. That's kind of the thing. And Rainbow's been really impressive for the first 15 minutes of this, putting it P5. I believe, in my mind, he was more. Yeah, midfield, sort of where Makenda is in my mind. Like, bottom top 10. And maybe this is his time for the step up. Of course, new handling. Maybe it suits people differently. I think the common narrative is that traction zones are easier. And maybe if people were struggling specifically with that, it could give them an unproportional bump in performance in this game. And that could be spicy.
Yep, I think that's right. We've got most people in the pits. The driver who I'm watching at the moment is about to start a lap is Bailey. And he's going to want to improve on his P7, warming those tyres quite aggressively as he comes into the last corner. And this is very much the calm before the storm. We're going to see drivers come out of the pits very shortly. I can see both a Ferrari and a Mercedes on their way out. And here comes Bailey then to start this lap. 2 minutes 30. Well, it says 2 minutes 30 for us. The spectator bug is still there, right? It's still a thing.
I mean,
it's not.
I don't know. This is the second,
you don't know.
the second race I've commentated on this game, and in the other one I didn't notice it.
Okay.
But
I think actually, yeah, I'm sure it is because the Tier 4 race earlier this week it was definitely there.
Okay.
So there's a little bit longer than that in the session to go.
Yeah. We can't fix bugs. It's fine. So far,
Bailey coming. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, so far it looks pretty clean, but of course we don't really have a sector time, Bahrain being a track where there are two sectors that are 2 corners each, and then there's the middle sector where the entire track happens, and Bailey has not crossed the end of that sector yet, so we're still waiting on the delta, and now he's gonna cross that. It is 1/10, which doesn't sound immense, but it could at least be 1 position, maybe 2 up to P5. And if he finds something in the last one, could even look at P3 even.
Yeah, certainly possible. He's going to come out of the last corner now, and yeah, he only needs a 10th and a half or so to get into the top 5. He crosses the line, he's P6. Yes. So that's a very solid effort from Bailey. He looks like he's put himself in the top 10.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough, but of course a little reminder, he did win last season here at Bahrain, and I don't think he started from the front row or anything there either. I believe actually it was even in the top 10. I thought it was like a race where he came from nowhere and no one expected him to win and then he was just suddenly there. So, you know, maybe he doesn't need the starting position.
Yeah, it's always a little bit of a lottery. Like the turn 1 situation at Bahrain is difficult. It's a big braking zone into a slow corner. So there's lots of potential to gain and lose positions there. Danny, I'm just watching now, crossing the sector, and he's 3/10 up. So this could be towards the very front of the grid here for Danny. He's going to come through the last corner very shortly. Top 2 or 3 is where he'll be aiming, as long as he gets this last corner at least somewhat clean. It looked pretty good to me. He'll have to wait a little bit on the power maybe, but DRS open. He crosses the line and goes P2 on a 24.714.
Let's go, absolute banger lap from him there. So I just wonder if Luca maybe has a counter for that. He is exiting sector 1 and oh boy, he does. He's apparently up 2/10. So that could even threaten Brexit, not just Danny. He's got 2 young Brits ahead of himself and wants to make sure his name is on the top spot.
27.3 for sector is very good indeed. And just barely slower than Vexit's first sector. What else have we got? Well, we got most people at the moment on a lap, and they do have checkered flags next to their names, so maybe that was the end of the session at where it said it was for us. Luca crosses the line. Yeah, he's very, very close indeed to Vexit's time here. 0.239 up on his own time, which puts him right in the vicinity of Vexit's time, and Luca could be springing a surprise here in the first qualifying session.
No!
Copy retires. Oh, very wide. Is he going to get away with it? He looks like he did, but he probably will have lost a little bit of time. Milan goes P2. Luca goes fastest on a 24.428. That is a really, really good lap, albeit with the wide exit of the last corner. It didn't seem to lose him any time, and he puts it right at the front.
Yeah, he's done well to use the limited grip off track there and didn't really wiggle or anything, so manages to save himself across the line. Vexit, who abandoned the last run, isn't able to defend himself against that one, and Milan puts it third as well. So Danny demoted to 4th. He is not on a flyer anymore. Etnik is also in the pits, so is Rainbow.
That's our grid.
That's it, yeah.
That's our grid.
Wow.
So everyone crossing the line, and the other people, I think Etni and Rainbow both abandoned their lap. I think Rainbow might have even have had a spin. So that is our grid, and it's Luca and Luke at the front. Luca and Vexit, followed by Milan, Danny, Etni, Rainbow, Bailey, Marion, Makenda, and Sunny. We haven't mentioned Sunny at all this session.
Yeah.
That's a very creditable effort, though, putting it in P10 on his full-time Tier 1 debut.
Yeah, I mean, Marion and Sonny, I don't think I've mentioned either of them. Both returning. They are both friends of Jensen, of course, and I assume he's played a big part in getting them back into the league. And I think one of the main factors of their absence has just been motivation. They always show up, and then after a few races, you know, the hype kind of dies down and they leave. But maybe being competitive like that could motivate them to stay a little long. I would certainly hope so. They have some proper pace. Also Jensen narrowly missing out on his personal target. Only P13. So close.
Yep, need another half-tenth or so to beat Hood, who we didn't mention either, but that's a solid lap from him in the Red Bull. Justin in the non-top 10 pole position, P11 in the Alpine, so he'll probably start on the medium tyres. And yeah, it'll be fun.
The grid was separated by 1.2 seconds, and the top 19 by 1 second, by the way. I hadn't noticed until now. It was really close. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've paid much attention to like P13 downwards, but they were like in the running. It's very possible that some of those guys had actual pace for top 10 maybe and just made one mistake on their final run, and that cost them 2 or 3 tenths, and that's why we didn't mention them. So maybe there's some sleepers in the race that could suddenly show up big here. And
yeah, and we'll see how good the alternate strategy is if they decide to go for that.
Lost Alexander.
Oh,
tragic.
Alexander was, I think, at the back of the grid. I think he was the 1.2 behind Paul, which is still a good lap.
Yep. 1.2 behind Luca is no joke. So, we go for formation up. Do you actually know if the lights bug is there? Because I don't think it is. Like,
Okay, I don't know. I don't know, I'm
I don't
afraid.
think it was in the one race I commentated.
Okay.
So that should be great. Finally we get the excitement of the start. You know, I don't have to say 5 red lights and they are off and we're, yeah, I don't know, having a nice coffee. We go. So that's thing of the past.
Okay. I've got a very fun bug, which
Oh no.
means that when I go on board with somebody, it initially puts it so it's like looking out of the left side pod. So I'm just looking to the left, all the scenery go past. And if I switch it quickly back to broadcast and then TV pod, then it writes itself. But it's a slightly weird bug.
So it's not even that you have like, I don't know, a steering.
It might be
wheel
like
or
it might
something,
yeah,
and that
it might be it might be like a control that's bound to something.
Yeah.
That's doing it. I'll have to investigate. But it's and it's making life interesting at the moment to spectate.
Amazing. Okay. Good that I have the camera. I hope for no more bugs. Even though I'd be excited to see the 5th installment of the Rev Glitch, you know, they've worked very hard on cultivating that one, so I'm very, very excited for its debut. And at the start, I mean, wait, what are the tires? Let's talk about that. We've got the top 10 on the softs, of course, and then everyone else, except Hood, on hards. So very clear circumstances here. Just Hood probably hoping that he can edge out an advantage with an unconventional strategy. The predicted pit stop strategy is apparently 2-stop. I don't really see that happening. Maybe a few.
Yeah, we're not going to see a 2-stop unless somebody makes a mistake and decides to pit and fix a wing or something like that. The conventional strategy will be a 1-stop, either soft medium or soft hard, and either medium hard or in Hood's case hard medium, I would have thought.
So now lining up on the front row, we have got Luca in his white Haas. Alongside him in full black, it is Vexit. It is Croatia versus England on the front row, and then Milan and Danny from the second row of the grid will probably try and insert themselves into that fight. So we've got 5 red lights. Oh god. And Season 7 of SLR is underway with a really bad start from Vexit, who's already gonna lose out to Milan, and they already touch wheels before we even move into turn 1, while Luca is probably gonna keep that lead safely. Milan and Vexit squeezing through turns 1 and 2 side by side with lots of barging. Milan just slightly...
Oh, and a crash at the back.
No.
Hemi has been turned around, and somebody else as well, I think.
Fox?
And Copy was involved there too. I don't know if Copy lost any front wing. We have yellows in Sector 1, but no safety car, I don't think. Pemi is underway again.
Okay, so here we go. Somehow Vexit and Milan are both alive still. Luca with a marginal lead at the
Milan
front.
sending it on Vexit there into the hairpin. Didn't quite get alongside enough, and Vexit keeps the position, but it has meant that Luca has stretched out a second and a half there.
Oh,
Danny spins!
Oh, he just sent it way too deep and collides with him, and now he has to rejoin the track in P14, so it's been a terrible start for him. Side by side running also Justin and Hood, oh wait, no, they aren't. It was someone else. But, yeah, Hood is re-overtaking Jensen, of course, because they had a little bit of a fight. Man, it's already kicking off here.
Yep, certainly is. Bailey up to P4 with all of that carnage as well. We didn't see how he managed to gain 3 places, but a very good start from him. But really, the story at the moment is that Luca has managed to get himself a bit of a break, although Vexit has closed in about half a second in that opening lap.
There's so much going on right now. I think it's mainly Rainbow trying to take the position back from Makenda. Makenda also with a really good start, basically is as good as Bailey. Makenda really late on the brakes though, so I think Rainbow's gonna have to wait for a little moment, and Danny gets led past by Jensen. Also fighting side by side, Bryce Evolution and Dane the Dangerous into turn 4 there. Milan already with a penalty. That's way too early to get one.
Indeed, lap 2, and I wonder where that was. That must have been into the right-hander. He just put a wheel a little bit too far over to the left-hand side. But yeah, 3 seconds. That's a painful one for him.
That's a very good lap from Alexander, beating world record by about 10 seconds. Great, really good.
Oh, I missed that. Did he?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there we go. 115. Nice.
Very good.
He's not quite Ocean Chief, but you know, he's almost there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like that he doesn't give up. You know, he's got fighting spirit in him after going off at turn 4 there on the first lap. So things finally kind of settling a little bit. It's hard to talk about gaps because the intervals are having a laugh. Oh, what's that? Was that Jensen? Jensen just had a massive moment there, apparently.
Yeah, he seems to have lost a lot of time to Danny, so lost a second or two. We've got a pretty close run thing here for P6 at the moment with Makenda and Rainbow. I'm just going to see if Rainbow's going to use his battery. He's not, so he's content to stay behind, at least for the time
We
being.
might get a safety car, we do. Virtual safety car for Alexander Jew, who's parked off track, you can see in there on the left. Yeah, I don't know what that was. He's disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. I don't know if that was the game, because I thought the last thing I saw of him was him leaving the game, I guess. So
yeah, I wonder if that's either connection or hardware failure from his side. But in any case, the game has disqualified him, so he is out of the race. Unfortunately, he's our first retirement of the Tier 1 season.
Yeah, of course. A new feature in this game is that virtual safety cars can also turn into full safety cars, but I believe it would have already happened if that was to be the case. Rainbow lurking on the restart on Makenda, hoping to catch him off guard and sleeping, but virtual safety car didn't end yet, so he has to be more patient. Oh man, they are so close.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for either penalties or for drive-throughs here, with people being a little bit too aggressive with the VSC. We've seen that happen quite a lot before in SLR Tier 1 races, and in all the tiers, in fact. So we'll see if that happens here. The front, what is it? The front 14 really are all in basically a DRS train. As we have, there's a couple of drive-throughs. One is Bailey, and the other is Dane. So Bailey just a little bit too aggressive on the restart, and that is devastating for his race. He's going to have to serve a drive-through, and that pretty much destroys any chance of, well, barring a safety car, full safety car, any chance of points here.
Yeah, Dane also coming into the pits now.
Oh, Brexit for the lead.
Oh yeah,
on the outside into turn 1. Yeah, he was having a good look there at Luca. He's going to have the switch back here out of turn 2 and turn 3 and up the hill towards turn 4, and Luca having to at least think about defending. He does go defensive and doesn't really give room on the outside there, Luca. But Vexit keeping it clean for the moment, not really attacking too hard there, but he's certainly worried as Luca.
Yeah, no need to destroy your race this early on in an unlikely move, so he is pretty defensive on that one actually, or conservative. Now, Bailey, of course. I mean, this is already heartbreaking. It feels like we left off where we started where we left off. Hope we can recover somehow, but just on raw pace, recovering from a drive-through ain't gonna happen.
Yep, it's pretty devastating. Something has to happen for him to be a contender in this race. Dane has already served his drive-through and has the medium tires on now, so he'll be well. Yeah, of course, he already had the medium tyres on. You can't change tyres while serving a drive-through. And we'll see when Bailey chooses to serve his. One interesting thing is that Etney now, with Milan's penalty and Bailey's drive-through, is effectively in P3 on his SLR return. So a very solid performance, and he's in a really good position.
Danny getting an easy overtake off there with a good acceleration out of the final turn past Justin. And Dane has also had an off after his mishap in the VSC. Troubles didn't end yet. He's P16 and he has had a massive slide off track.
3 seconds for McKen. Oh, as Etney hits the back of Bailey there. I wonder if he got any damage from that. He did give that Aston Martin a little bit of a thump there on the entry to the corner. And he's going to have a good look down the inside here. In fact, he's going to send it down the inside of the Aston Martin. So Etney at the moment, while trying to go up to P4 on the road, not fighting it too hard isn't Bailey, but certainly made him work for it. And Etney around the outside into the left-hander, and he is indeed up to P4.
And people are swarming on Bailey. Now McKenna not getting the ideal run, blocked by the Aston Martin. Rainbow right there to take advantage. He takes 1 and he takes 2. So really late on the brakes. Bailey now losing 2 positions. He probably should have served his drive-through earlier, because now he's just losing even more time.
wasn't flat there through. I wonder if he has damage, Bailey. I wonder if he hit the back unseen by us of the car in front of him. And in fact, yeah, he's missing an end plate. No, he's not missing an end plate. Not visually, at least. So, but it looks to me like he has damage. And I think he'll be pitting and possibly either retiring or, yeah, setting up a tent at the back of the grid. And yeah, he is pitting this lap.
Yeah, comes in. This is heartbreak. I kind of hope he continues. You never know when there's a safety car. But I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't. Very frustrating. Return Marion on the move on Makenda for P6. Gives him nice racing room, and they both live to fight another day. Vexit is so close to Luca on the Delta there. My God.
Yeah, he had a look into turn 4. He didn't send it, but a little feint to the inside just to make him think about it. Luca there, and Luca will be sweating it. He's leading this race, of course, having qualified on pole position, but he knows that Vexit behind him is extremely fast.
For sure, and this season is getting me hyped more and more hyped by the minute. If you look at the train that we've got here, it reaches from P1 to P10 after 6 laps of racing. There's still not a break from the very front to the end of the points. That is, if the entire season is going to be like that, sign me up.
I think partly it's a function of Bahrain, because that's how Bahrain tends to work, big DRS train track. But certainly the top 10 drivers at the moment very much delivering, and Justin on the medium tyres as well.
Danny may be on El Soni, finding an opening where I didn't think there was an overtaking spot, and he's running alongside him. El Soni carrying a lot of momentum around the outside, and that means Danny has to tuck in behind. I think Soni's going to defend with some ERS. Actually, he doesn't, so Danny now with the straight line speed getting the move done a second time. Wait, Vexit has overtaken Luca for the lead while all of that was going on, so I think that was just a move into turn 1. So we've got a new race leader.
Yeah, straightforward move down the front straight. Didn't really defend it, Luca. And as he hits the back of Vexit there, that will have... I think it did send Vexit a little bit deep into turn 4. Just wonder if it gave Luca any damage. Doesn't look like it for the time being, but certainly that was a close run thing.
And how much is Vexit, or how much is Luca gonna try to get that position back? Is he content with just staying behind, taking the DRS and maybe waiting for opportunities opening on the strategy later into the race, or does he want to resume the race lead? Well, we're about to find out.
And Vexit up front has barely used any ERS. He's almost sitting on a full battery there. Luca has about half of his ERS left. There's Rainbow right on the back of Etney, but no change for position there. As Danny. And Danny's gone again. No, in the right-hander. Danny in the right-hander has looped it for the second time in the opening 7 laps of this race, and he will have to almost certainly pit now for a set of hard tyres, and that pretty much sees his chances go, as Milan is the first of the front runners to pit, surely at this point, at the end of lap 7 for hard tyres.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to drag that to the end, and he's getting a wing change. Did we spot that? I don't think we did. Spot the damage. No, I didn't realize he had damage. So yeah, he's obviously damage was bad enough for him to want to change the wing, as we see Makenda and Rainbow here. Makenda trying to go around the outside of turn 4. Can he make it stick? A very nice move by the looks of things. Rainbow is sticking it there on the inside of 6, and he used battery to try and get ahead as well. They're going to run side by side through 6 and 7. It's very, very close between the two of them. Still side by side as they head into the hairpin. Makenda on the outside might get the run here, but Rainbow fighting this very hard. A little bit of touching, but clean for the most part. And on the inside now, Makenda into the double left-hander. Still very close between them. Still side by side on the exit. Makenda trying to close off the exit, then realizes he can't. And it looks like Rainbow is going to get the position, at least for the time being. That was great. That was fantastic, and there goes Marion. He sees the opportunity. He takes one. Makenda is left to dry on the outside. So Marion just sneaks up on him, takes the position. What a fight. Yeah, I completely agree. That was absolutely great from the two of them, and now Marion gets himself P5 as well.
Yeah, great stuff from all of those drivers, honestly. And Justin's still there on the medium tyres, so Justin making good use of that alternate strategy pole position as Luca runs a little bit wide on the exit of the last corner, just as he did in his qualifying lap. And these two carry on for another lap. Are we going to see anyone else pit from the front 10? It doesn't look like it, so I wonder if that means they're all going to be stretching.
Damn it. Luca
medium, sorry.
touched Vexit again, like they make... they have a little fist bump every time they, they are in a braking zone. This is absolute... I mean, they're both driving completely on the edge, and it's actually a miracle that nothing has gone wrong so far. I'm not trying to curse them, it's just... They both look absolutely determined and aggressive, and that usually doesn't match up well. I hope it.
Yeah,
I hope they
we could see something happen, but in the meantime, they've broken away from Etney by more than 2 seconds. In fact, that's a very impressive effort from them, despite the fact that they've been, if not fighting, then certainly staring at each other menacingly in the front two positions. Etney is just over a second ahead of Rainbow as well, after those three were fighting a moment ago. And Justin still, like as I said, on the medium tyres, he's still there, still hanging around, still trying to make that strategy work.
Yeah, actually, I should have shown tyres. Why is no one shouting at me? That's quite poor from all of you. We got that going. Yeah, Justin, absolutely great in that first stint. I've kind of disregarded him. He's not really, set anything on fire, but that's just because he's fighting with mediums against all of the soft runners. Now Marion taking potentially second position in a row up into P4, and does really well to brake exactly on the right spot. No room for a comeback for Rainbow. P4 goes to Marion.
Yep, and Marion, making lots of moves in the opening few laps of this race. Where did he start? He started P8, so good progress from the McLaren driver. He's got Rainbow right on the back of him now, and the front two's lead over Etney continues to grow to 2.7 seconds, and Marion now in DRS as Makenda and Rainbow once again having a little bit of a disagreement into the hairpin. Rainbow, for the moment, stays ahead.
Certainly does. Down the order, we've got Fox fighting Copy. I don't really know what happened to Copy. It's just he's not having a good one right now, is he? Maybe if there's something like a safety car, he could come back into this race.
I think he got damage from that turn 1 incident and pitted, and he's put on the hard tires, just basically hoping for a safety car. I think that's the situation he's in at the moment. If there's a safety car now, he'll put the mediums on to go to the end. Otherwise, he's pretty much stuck right back there with no real chance for any points.
We're reaching a tire cliff for the softs as Jensen absolutely glued to the back of his buddy El Sonny, and now Sonny is gonna head into the pits as well as Rainbow and Makenda. So the soft runners will make their one and only stop, presumably, at this moment.
Yeah, I think that'll be for the mediums as well. I think if you take the tyres 10 laps, that's good enough to go onto the mediums, and all 4 of those drivers deciding to go for the medium tyres. So that releases Vexit, who presumably is going to pit at the end of this lap, lap 11. He is out of battery now, though, Vexit, so I guess that's why they were able to pull away so far from Etney, is that Vexit used all of his battery and dragged Luca along. So good stuff from Luca to realise that and make his own break. Marion P3 just behind Etney, and I was going to mention Jensen actually, because he's in second place on the alternate strategy at the moment, with just behind class leader Justin, as it were.
Yeah.
And just behind on the hard tyres as well. So making the hard tyres work is the Finnish driver Hood in the Red Bull.
I can't even count out Jensen yet as well. As you say, he's doing the same as Justin, and I've praised Justin before, which means praise should also go out to Jensen. Dane with his first penalty there. And in the battle for the lead, Luca has a big ERS advantage, probably because of the pit stop regeneration, but he's also got a tire advantage by now, fresh mediums versus old softs, which means likely he's gonna take the lead off of Vexit.
Staying out?
Oh.
Vexit staying out another lap, a 29.7, which is more than a second slower than his best lap so far, but he's going 2 laps extra, so Vexit going for the big tire delta towards the end of the race, rather than going for the immediate response to the undercut. So I think it's quite likely that Luca is going to be some way ahead now of Vexit as we head into the second half of this race, with Vexit with 2 lap better tyres on the mediums, which will count for something. So I expect him to close that gap as Milan retires from the race.
That's That's kind of unnecessary. Oh wait, there's a little bit of a scrap going on in the background of our screen between the two Dutch McLarens and Ethnic TRN, who's lost the positions to both Makenda and Rainbow, so Etney in a little bit of trouble, and now he's got a swarm of orange cars behind him. This time, they actually stand for the Netherlands, the orange cars. Okay, it's not like in Hungary.
Etney gonna try and hang on to the back of Makenda and Rainbow. I think he pitted this last lap, right? So he's got 1 lap tyres on those guys in front.
They all pitted this lap, I think. Maybe he got held in the pits.
Maybe, I don't know. That's interesting though.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's happened, but put up a good fight in the first stint. I'm confident in saying that this is not gonna be too much of a blow to Ethnic. He has certainly got the racecraft to try and come back at Rainbow and Makenda and reclaim. I think what is net P3?
Yep, I think it is too. It depends on how the medium runners do, but certainly that is the case at the moment. Now, Vexit just gone into the pits, put the medium tyres on. And the situation is that Luca is going to be how far ahead of him? There goes Luca past Vexit. It's a good couple of seconds and then some, I think. So it's quite a gap that Vexit has to close down in these closing, 17 laps. 2.8 seconds. That is a tall order with the 2-lap undercut for Luca, and of course no DRS to help either of them out. But if anyone can, and I think Vexit can, he's shown his pace already in the first half of this race.
Yeah, also an ERS disadvantage for him. He's got 25% percentage points less than Luca. And now Marion taking Ethnic. And there goes Sonny as well, wants to follow his teammate through. The Williams carries the speed around the outside. Sonny not having the same advantage that Marion does, which is having soft tires. Marion will have to pit again, so he probably kind of outplayed himself on strategy. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to find out after the race that was just MFD mistake.
That must be a mistake. There's no way that was a real strategy from Marion. That's really unfortunate for him, if that's the case. But certainly he's put up a good show in the first half of this race, that's for sure.
Jensen taking some last slipstream from Justin as he pits from the lead, which leaves Jensen in the lead of the race for now. But of course, with a pit stop to go now, it's gonna be interesting how well he does on, well, actually how long he stays where he is right now. I probably expect him to go to softs by the end, so he and Justin actually driving different strategies. Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm a little bit surprised, now I come to think of it, that Justin did pit there and go on to the hards, because he's going to be just at a clear disadvantage to everyone else ahead who's put the mediums on a couple of laps ago. The hards will be probably better by the end of the race, but only just, and in the meantime he's going to have to drive at a disadvantage, and he's not in DRS either, so that's bad news for him. He's marooned a little bit off the back of that group, and yeah, it means that Jensen and Bryce as well, and Hood to some extent. Hood presumably will put either the mediums or the softs on at some point, and the other two, yeah, they might well be stretching to softs, and that'll be very interesting if that happens.
For sure. And then this Ethnic just on the outside of DRS in the fight for P8. Obviously not a net P8, but at the moment that's the position he needs to get a little bit of a move on. I think he's in a good position though, because Marion on those softs will want to get past Makenda. Makenda's not gonna give that position up easily, which will inevitably result in a fight that's likely gonna cost both of them positions. Is Jensen pitting? No, Jensen's just getting overtaken by Hood into turn 1.
And Etney, I don't think got DRS that time, so that's unfortunate for him. As yeah, Hood does take the lead of the race on those hard tyres, so the strategy at the moment looking pretty good, but of course he's going to have to pit and come up behind everyone else.
And 1 and 2 and 1 go. Really nicely done. I mean, he's got the soft tires, so that's the power of those. But Makenda wants to follow Marion through. Actually, he sees his chance there. And Rainbow and Makenda have been fighting all race, are going at it again into turn 4. Oh, way too late on the brakes, and Marion gets taken out. Makenda just completely outbrakes himself and sends both of them into a spin. Crucial mistake with big consequences.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Makenda wasn't trying to overtake Marion at all. He was more focused on the car alongside him. But the collateral damage is Marion, who gets spun out of turn 4. And that's, well, I mean, his race was already over, to be honest, with the strategy problems that he's had, but certainly now he's in a big hole. And Makenda, well, he's pretty much destroyed his own race with that. Presumably he has a little bit of damage from that as well. He hit the McLaren quite hard.
Whew. That is tragic.
As Hood pits from the lead from those hard tyres, so he is going to put the mediums on.
Okay.
And it means that Jensen and Bryce, I mean, presumably they are going to softs. That's the only reason they'd stay out this long is if they wanted to put the soft tyres on, and I don't blame them at all. I think that'll be a good strategy for them.
Absolutely. They will have all of the possibilities to make up places in the last stint that you could ask for. Just and if there's a safety car, you know, they can go to the end from now. So they are really in a good position, honestly.
Yep, and Hood comes out just behind Justin, and that's actually good news for Justin because it means he's in the DRS now of Marion, who presumably will be faster if he well, he won't have any damage because he was hit in the rear. So Justin, hopefully for his sake, will be able to stay with the McLaren, and Hood closes right up to the back of that Alpine. As we have, 13 laps to go at the end of this one. The leader at the moment is Jensen, but they are off sync. Jensen and Bryce are off sync in terms of strategy. The net leader is Luca on those medium tyres, which will go to the end. And he has 2 laps disadvantage over Vexit, who's behind. He came out of the pits 2.8 seconds ahead. He's now 2.6 seconds ahead of the Englishman in the Mercedes.
We've lost Dane.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Dane knows. DNF'd. He's had quite a few offs. Apparently the switch to no assist in Tier 1
lead.
Yeah, it hasn't really worked for him. Bryce Evolution doesn't... Oh my god, I have to close my window, right? I've got a lot more you commentating.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Bryce let Jensen through, and Jensen didn't realize Bryce was letting him through and very, very nearly at the back of the Mercedes. That was a very close one. And with that would have been an unfortunate end to both of their races, and thankfully Jensen with the quick reflexes moves around instead of into the Mercedes.
Yeah, it was really great timing for someone outside to start mowing their lawn. So I apologize for that. Yeah, really scary moment. Now Danny picks up a 3-second time penalty. He also does those in career mode, you know. I know. He's actually gone really... I mean, he's spun 2 times and he's getting a 3-second penalty, so it's actually exactly like a co-op career. Now the question is, can Jensen perform a Timo and get points? Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's looking reasonably good at the moment. He's going to come out, I think behind Justin, maybe somewhere around Makenda, maybe even just ahead of Makenda at the moment if he pits in the next couple of laps, which I assume he will, and then he'll be on the much faster tyres for the rest of the race. So Jensen with prospects, I would say, of getting some good points in this one.
You have to, on top of his good performance, you also have to calculate that we're commentators cursing the crap out of him, and he's still going, so, you know, that's some extra mental pressure that he's withstanding at the moment. Very good for the fact that he didn't really practice, very good for the fact that he's not really actually properly played the game at all, even, well, past a few career mode races, while everyone else was sweating.
Yep, it shows his underlying pace and his underlying fundamentals that he's pretty much always had since he joined SLR a couple of years ago, as Makenda gets himself 3 more seconds to go along with the 3 seconds that he had already, and to go with the upcoming FIA penalty as well. Sorry, Makenda.
yeah, kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's much debate about
Oh, and sending it up the inside is Hood on Marion, and Hood does manage to get the position. He did get his stop there into the hairpin. Hood on the medium tyres, the fresh medium, Marion on the old softs, and Hood managing to get himself that position. He's going to chase after the guys ahead of him, and that might be fruitful for him.
Marion, though, he's not had a nice day with the finish, and now he's trying to deal with that one, and it ends in tears again! No. What is it? Oh, man. I mean, this time, I don't think you can... Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna make any judgments, okay? I had a bad camera angle, but that was probably unnecessary. And
Yeah, that one was a little bit more contested, but certainly
other one
unfortunate
was.
for Marion.
Oh no!
Bryce pits to put the softs on. He is indeed doing that. So Jensen presumably will pit next lap, I would have thought, with 10 to go.
For sure. So this is gonna give us a rough indication how much is possible for the soft, for the medium soft runners. He is in the top 10 even before the tire delta of the softs is gonna give him any advantage, which means great position for him. Jensen also certainly gonna come out in what is gonna be P9 as soon as he pits. So points are probably the least. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yep, I would have thought so. And Bryce will be looking at those cars ahead with some green eyes of envy of those points. And I think he'll be on the back of Justin very soon indeed with those fresh, soft tyres.
How far do you think they can go? Because I'm looking at the timing and I feel like P4 is actually kind of in reach. It just kind of depends on time.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, yeah. I think all of those guys who are in that group, Rainbow, Etney, Sunny, and Hood, are all going to be worried about Bryce, and they're all going to be worried about Jensen as well when he pits, which is right now.
Yeah.
He comes into the pits and does manage to get it stopped before the line. So Jensen making his play with 10 laps to go to put the soft tyres on to go to the end.
In a surprise to absolutely no one, fastest middle sector by Bryce, probably gonna fastest last sector as well. There he breezes. No, that's Hood actually. Okay. There comes Bryce in the Mercedes now, and Jensen is just behind. So those two will be a headache for sure on the back of Justin.
Front, we haven't mentioned this very much. The fight between Luca and Vexit. Luca is holding that gap. It was 2.8 when they came out of the pits. It's now 2.7. So the gap not really changing at all between the front two. Vexit low on ERS. Luca is vibing there with about 50% or so.
Desync? Bryce is last for me. That's desync.
Oh. Yeah, me too. Did something happen to Bryce? Did he disconnect? Is he ghosted? I think he might be ghosted. I think he might have disconnected.
It's American internet.
Oh man, that's really unfortunate because Bryce was in a very good position.
But he's still running exactly where he is. I mean, imagine if he like. I kind of have the hopes that this is not too game breaking. We can still give him the position, but if he's gonna ghost in the wheel-to-wheel fights, there's unfortunately nothing we can do.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's in the car. I think it's an AI driving at the moment. I think he has disconnected. Either he's disconnected or he's desynced for us. In which case, he might still be in the race. We just don't see him. And I hope for his sake that is the case. Oh, in fact, no, oh right, I see. All right. So I thought he'd drop back on track, but no, he hasn't.
Still there. Yeah.
He is still there. So has he like lost a lap or something? Is that what's?
Oh, Jensen can drive through him, so he's ghosted, which means Bryce's entire efforts have kind of they've just gone to waste completely. Jensen takes the position there, so that's one less driver to worry about for all of those ahead, reaching up to Rainbow with that third spot on the podium. But now Jensen is on the hunt. How far can he get? I mean, Justin should be easy, but then there's a 5-second gap and then a huge DRS train, and I don't know if the tire life is going to be enough by the end of it. Certainly, well, it would certainly be a content mine, let's put it like that, okay?
Yeah, and Hood, who started on the hard tires, has cruised up to that train as well, so he's going to be hoping to make some fireworks happen here, because having started, P12 on those hard tires, he has driven a very, very solid race, and with these guys in front, all on much older tires, he's going to be a good bit faster as we come into the last, 8 laps as they cross the line of this race.
And that's kind of what I meant when I said in qualifying that it was all so close. Qualifying is not going to give you the definitive answer to who is fastest. Hood with an absolutely brilliant 2/3 of the race so far, because he's somehow on the back of all of these guys who've had softs all race while he was driving on terrible hard tires. and now may be able to reap the rewards. Commentator's curse. That's the first one of the season. Gets a 3-second time penalty, but maybe he gets P5 as he sends one on El Sonny, and that one works out just fine. Way better than on another account.
Oh no, he's backed out of it as Sonny, which is probably a good idea, because Hood on much better tyres. But yeah, 3-second penalty for Hood, and he's going to have to not only pass these guys, but get himself 3 seconds on them, which might be possible, honestly, given the extra pace he'll have. But certainly he's just made his job a lot harder. Jensen passed Justin on the front straight on the last lap, and has already pulled out more than a second to prevent Justin from getting DRS this time by. So Jensen will be cruising up to the back of El Sonny within the next 3 or 4 laps, and yeah, then there'll be fireworks, I imagine.
Absolutely. And I mean, where can he make the next move? It's just with the DRS train, it's all gonna be tough. Let's look at the battery. Best battery for Etnik.
Yeah, and Hood is right on the back now, and looking maybe this time to use some battery. We'll have to see if he does. And no, Hood using no battery at all as they head down into turn 1 this time, so he's content to sit for at least this lap. Oh, what is that? An absolute send down the inside from Hood. Etney leaves space. That one wasn't really ever going to work, although he's managed to... Oh, he chose the wrong side there. Surely he should have just gone down the inside there, Hood. As Marion retires from...
They both go way too deep.
That was very close indeed.
Oh no!
To being a crash, and Etney did spin, or at least lost most of his momentum there, and lost about 4 seconds. So he's dropped behind El Sonny now as well. I didn't see that at the time, but yeah, he definitely had a moment there, did Etney, because now Jensen's right on the back of him.
Yeah, and that's just made Jensen's work even easier. He's got one defenseless Williams, and then the 3 seconds, which he should be able to close, and then it's just 3 instead of 4 drivers to contend with. One of them has even got a penalty, and they will fight each other for life and death until the end of this race. I mean, he's in a prime position, honestly. It's, how is he gonna do this on the Season 1 champion? Fox, meanwhile, getting a penalty. Marion is also DNF'd in the meantime. His soft stint has come to an end, and understandably, that was kind of where the fun ended for him.
Yep, 6 laps to go, and no movement up front at all. Luke Smith, aka Vexit, not able to make any sort of headway into Luca's lead, so it's looking at the moment as though Luca is going to bring home the first win of the season for the Haas team, which would be a great result for him, beating Vexit there, as we see Hood now around the outside of Rainbow into turn 4. Can he hang it around there? Yes, he can with a superior grip, and takes the racing line. He's up to P3. His task now is to get 3 seconds over those guys, because that's the penalty that he's got.
That should be tough. He's got 4.5 laps, and 3 seconds in that. That's really close. He's got 5 laps of tire delta, and I don't think that's enough just off of the tires. He would also have to just be quicker as a driver, so to speak, which he probably is.
I think his first problem is he's got to break DRS, and that's going to be quite difficult. Rainbow with the same battery as him, even slightly more, so it's going to be really tough to break Rainbow's DRS with just a 5-lap tyre delta on the mediums, which is quite significant, but probably DRS gets you about half a second, and that's probably about what the delta is between those tyres.
Absolutely. Now he's already looking to the inside to clear some DRS. I mean, Rainbow is too far behind to make a move, but as you say, the DRS, the main headache here.
Rainbow will know that he has 3 seconds of penalties to Hood, so no real sense in trying anything too risky.
Yeah.
Jensen cruising up to the back of the 3 of them as well. This won't help Jensen because it gives the 2 behind DRS and gives them pace that they wouldn't otherwise have in those medium tyres, but he'll still gain on those softs.
It's looking good for P5 at least because of that Hood penalty. I've kind of lost faith in him being able to make the break and pull away. So if Jensen manages to catch up to the back of this, which undoubtedly he will, then that's already one place gained, and then it's just between Rainbow, Sonny, and Jensen, who will be able to stand on the podium next to Luca and Vexit, as it stands. Of course, you know, I'm kind of tempting fate here.
Yeah, lots can change between now and the end of the race. Jensen is gaining slowly, but it's only slowly at the moment, and it's too slowly really to trouble that podium position. Meanwhile, up front, the first really real movement in that gap has happened. We got 4 laps to go, and the gap now 2.3. So, is that pace, or is that just Luca taking a little bit of a breather and maybe recharging some battery or something like that, or is it his tires going off a little bit early? As Rainbow has a look to the outside of Hood, but nothing doing in turn 1, gives him a little bit of a love tap as well, but no harm done by the looks of it, and they can carry on their merry way.
And it's also a question how hungry Sonny is. Oh, Danny gets a move done on Makenda. Let's have a look at the penalties. I mean, okay, that was just that was just for the
Makenda with the penalties. So Danny, it is going to be P9, I think, for Danny after those 2 spins early on. It's still a good drive to recover to P9.
Just always very discouraging after a 2-month wait to return to SLR League Racing, and the thing you get is, the first position you get is a P9 with 2 spins. Also, I realized I just said Slipstream League Racing. That's great. SLR League Racing.
Like an ATM machine. Or a PIN number.
What? PIN number? Yeah.
PIN number, yeah.
Absolutely.
So 3 laps to go as they cross the line, and up front the gap once again is stabilized, so I don't think anything's happening there. I don't think anything's happening for third either. I think it is going to be a battle in the last 3 laps between Rainbow and El Sunny for that final podium spot. Jensen has closed in a little bit, but probably not enough to make a difference. And yeah, he's losing all of that time down the straight with the DRS as well. Lost a good 3/10 there, did Jensen. Not really able to close in. Etney hanging on to the back, but his race, I think, is pretty much run as far as making up positions is concerned.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I didn't really catch what happened there in turn 4, so I don't even know if this was like down to him or if he was just the victim of someone else's mistake. I mean, I would conclude it's still been a really impressive drive for him. Copy said that Etnik hadn't really driven in the 2 years, and he just returns with such a performance. So it's a good sign for things to come, but probably not going to be satisfied with P7 if P3 was arguably on the cards for most of that race.
Yeah, it's a really strong performance, no doubt, for Etney. Showed very good pace, very good consistency as well, until that little moment which was in traffic. We didn't exactly see what happened, but certainly encouragement for the rest of the season for him. It's a P7 at worst at the moment. Jensen closing in a little bit, but not enough. Luke Smith closing in a little bit, but not enough as Hood.
My man? Are you...
Why is Hood pitting?
My
That's
man.
a weird one. Is he pitting for fastest lap? That doesn't make sense though, surely.
It really does not, but that must be what he's doing. I mean, wait, he's a reserve, isn't he? I think the...
Is that what he's doing? He's deciding not to score points because he's a reserve. Okay,
or maybe he's like, maybe
Sure.
that's the reason he doesn't care as much about the result and just... I mean, that's frustrating, but...
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's his choice if he wants to do that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It does promote Jensen to an uncontested 5th place and Etney to an uncontested 6th place. And it does mean that Rainbow loses his DRS, which might be problematic for him because Sunny there, just behind, is sitting on a full battery, albeit right on the edge of DRS at the moment. But certainly with the battery that he's got, he can potentially make moves for that 3rd place in the last lap.
Yeah, if I was Rainbow, I'd be lightly salted, but it all depends on whether Sonny recognizes the urgency of him getting a move on him emptying that battery, because there's basically one proper overtaking spot left on the track. and that is the one to come. So he needs a real, I mean, he needs to follow as close as he can, and I don't think he's there. I don't think he has enough room on the track left to deplete all of his batteries, so he's probably gonna end up wasting some resources at the end of that race. Rainbow is now, he's got the red lights flashing, but there is no move happening into turn 1, so either we see something really extraordinary on the back straight, or we see, or on the final straight, or this is just gonna be P4 for Sonny.
It could well happen on the back straight. It's certainly a possibility. He's right there with Rainbow at the moment. Needs to be as close as he can through these next couple of corners. Does have the battery potentially to make this work. We'll have a little bit of dirty air here in these 2 corners, but then we'll close up, and he's got probably enough battery to think about making a move into the left-hander. He's probably not close enough here, though. He's not really been able to stay too close to that Alpine ahead. And as they come out now of the left-hander, yeah, I think this is a little bit too little too late for Rainbow, for El Sunny. He's not quite going to make it.
Oh, Hood seals the deal with P10 because he gets a second penalty, so he doesn't even get McKenna on that, although the FIA is probably going to intervene. Anyways, after a long season opener with a pole position for Luca, it is also going to be a first SLR victory for Luca in Tier 1. Gets himself the 25 points right off the start. Vexit has kind of dropped the ball a little bit, didn't really manage to recover himself from the strategy, which just goes on to show that Luca had absolutely amazing pace, and then Rainbow leaves VRT in shambles. Why did they drop this guy? He had a brilliant race. That was really good from him. Comes up best of the rest, kinda, in P3 with a podium. El Sonny on the comeback P4, and then the Dutch are going to be really happy with P4 and 5. Jensen, absolutely disappointing, nowhere near P12. I have no idea what his plan was there. Gets himself 10 points, and Etnik 6th. Then it's Justin. Then he recovers to P8. McKenda's 9th, but probably gets a penalty, and Hood is the last one in the points after a mysterious pit stop that could have been straight out of the Ferrari strategy department.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I assume that's what it was with Hood, that he is a reserve and decided not to score points, to take points off other people. I'll be straight up with you. I don't agree with that. I think reserve should race and should take points, but not my decision. So fair enough. But yeah, fantastic drive from Luca, who showed his credentials. And yeah, I mean, let's not take anything away from them. I mean, it was probably a mistake strategy-wise from Vexit to stay out that extra lap, but given the tyre delta, he should have been able to close in if they were the same pace. It was because Luca's pace was fantastic that he wasn't able to do that. So yeah, congratulations to him.
Absolutely. This correct. I mean, I don't know if you know, but this should be his first race win, right? I think so. In SLR.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the first time. Very nice number at his race time there.
Oh yeah, 33.333.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. So, who are we giving driver of the day to? I would.
Oh, good question.
Well, I would mainly suggest 2 people, but with a favorite. So, the one that would probably be my honorable mention is Jensen, because you know, qualifying in P13 didn't really seem to have the pace, and then just pulled the strategy off really well. Didn't get himself into any trouble, but in the end, in my mind, he would. I mean, and he finishes P5. In the end, he would kind of fall short in my mind, because there was a lot of you know, circumstances involved. He didn't you know, absolutely slice through the field. He just had a strategy and made it work, and everyone else kind of, you know, fell apart. And then my pitch for driver of the day is Luca, because it's a first-time race winner, and he just outperformed Vexit completely on merit. And coming into this, I thought, oh nice, Yari's got 3 race bans. That means Vexit gets a 75 point at high ground in the championship fight. But I was just completely wrong, and Luca is the reason for that, so I would personally give it to Luca.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're looking at a championship contender here, Luca.
So here we are on
it was
board
a really good drive.
Oh, no, I'm showing the hot lap
SLR
now! That's where I wanted to
Oh,
go. There we go. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I think I'd give it to Luca.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think I would agree with that. A really good drive from him, and yeah, deserved race win and driver of the day as well. So yeah, that's our tier 1 race. It was fantastic, and I think we're going to bring should we bring our race winner in here to chat with us here, because Luca, with just a fantastic drive, and with the 2-lap undercut, we thought maybe that Vexit would come back at you, Luca, in the second half of that race, but he just wasn't able to. You just had a little bit too much pace in that Haas. So yeah, congratulations, and talk us through it from your end.
Yeah, thank you. I guess that was Vex's mistake, cause like we were in the washout and all. But yeah, I think when he was scared of being blocked in the pits, so that's why he went for an overcut. And yeah, and then I just controlled the pace from the front. He lost all his ERS on the in lap, and then I had like 60%, and I could control the pace, and it was basically done from lap 20, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, he said he's asked me to drag him in here, Vexit. So let's have the two of you in at the same time, because it was a duel between the two of you in this race. Sorry, Vexit.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I thought you wanted to say something, but yeah, I mean, from your side, Vexit, I mean, in hindsight, would you have pitted a lap earlier to maybe be in closer DRS range of Luca at the end of the first stint?
Yeah, because I thought the drop off on this track was bigger. The tires, I thought that once they reached about 70%, the tires really started to drop off. And I know that if you box lap 10, you get close to that number. So yeah, I wanted to have more pace at the end, but the undercut was just too good, I think. So good to know learning or moving forward. Also, being in the Mercedes pit garage, you often get held. So either way, I would have gone at least lap 11 and done an overcut. But when I saw Etney also stay out, I kind of felt a little bit forced, because I know what this game's like. It's not the most consistent with the pit lane. So yeah, I think I should have gone lap 11 though, at least, if not 10 with Luca.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, that's a very good reason to stay out an extra lap, and yeah, Etney was in that sort of window where potentially, if the timing had been just right, then he could have be coming past your pit just as you left the pits. So yeah, fair enough. I mean, how were the soft tires after 12 laps? That's a long time to take them.
They weren't that terrible, but obviously not feeling great anymore. They'd seen better days for sure, but I think, yeah, they weren't much slower. Like after that point, the drop off was quite big, so I thought Luke would face the same issues at the end with the medium. So, but no, it would have appeared not.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, it was an impressive drive. It was as you said, controlling the pace, Luca, and just with the slight battery advantage that you had, able to bring it home. I mean, are we looking at two of the championship contenders here? How are you feeling about the championship, Luca?
I really don't know. The line problems, I think this is like my fourth race with no line around this track, so I finally finished the race. So yeah, I need to get used to no line as well, so yeah.
You can finish the race. You just won SLR Tier 1. That's a bit more than finishing the race.
Yeah,
I mean, he
but
did
still,
finish the race. That is objectively
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the objective, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Finish first. You have to finish.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, and I mean, in terms of Yari obviously missing the first 3 races of the season, Vexit. Are you seeing this as a missed opportunity, or are you happy enough with second?
I think it's I definitely had the pace to battle Luca, but it was a bit of a fuck up with the strategy. Sorry if I wasn't supposed to swear.
That's okay. We'll let you off just this once.
Alright. But yeah, I made a mistake with the strategy. So yeah, it's a bit of a missed opportunity, but we live and we learn.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the attitude to take. And yeah, you're our driver of the day, by the way, Luca. That was a really brilliant drive. So congratulations on that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more shout outs you want to give before we Say hi
Yeah,
to
I
some of the
wanna
other
say
managers.
it was a good win for my birthday present, I guess. Like, yeah.
Oh, it's your birthday. Nice. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
All right. Well, yeah. Congratulations to both of you. It was a really good drive from you both. And I'm going to drag you back into the interviews channel. Thanks for talking to us.
Alright,
Yeah,
cheers.
thanks.
Bye.
All right. That was our our front two finishers, Luca and Luke Smith, aka Vexit. Let's who should we bring in now? Should we bring in Rainbow to round out the podium? Rainbow, who I think we cut off there mid conversation with the other guys, but sorry about that, Rainbow. But you must be happy with third.
Yeah, it was. I was a lot of battling, a lot of mistakes by me. One moment I was at the start when I think turn was P3 out of the DRS already. I was side by side with him and I just locked up, and again unnecessary battling instead of just comfortable clean drives. So yeah.
But you're still able to come through and finish third. So I mean, we're thinking with I guess Hood at the end. We think he sort of backed off because he was a reserve and decided to pit, but we're not sure.
Well, like he had a penalty, so I knew I was gonna get him
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
and I would have had him on pace as well. I was preparing I saw he had less than 10% DRS, and I had like 40, so I was
Oh, that's
preparing
right.
to overtake.
Yeah. I forgot that he had a penalty. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. So you would have been third
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, I mean, just fantastic drive. I mean, is that your best SLR race result? I think it is. I'm not sure.
No, yeah, hasn't he won last
Could
season?
be.
Wait, didn't you win last season in Spa or something?
Oh yeah, I think I won in Hungary.
Yeah,
Hungary,
you did.
Yeah.
You did. Never mind. That was Was that a wet dry race? Yeah, man, that was, it was
No,
such
it
a
was
long time ago
just-
last season.
Yeah,
Just on pace. Good stuff.
try.
Well, in any case, I mean, that's a fantastic drive. And I mean, are you thinking at all about a championship challenge, or is it just sort of one race?
No,
one
not
race
at
at a time?
all. I mean, so many more faster people. Yari as well. I know he's gonna be way faster than me. So, just try to stick to the fast guys and improve myself.
Yeah, fair enough. That's sensible. We got Spain coming up next. How are you feeling about that?
Well, we just me and Luca did a league race yesterday in Spain, and he was leading. Well, he was wet, but he was leading. He spun off, and he had amazing pace and came back to get a podium. So I mean, he's gonna be faster. I already know.
Okay, well, fair enough. But still, I mean, that's Luca's one of the fastest drivers here, so that bodes well for you if you're sort of in the same ballpark.
Yeah. So
All right. Well done on the podium. It was a really good drive.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for talking to us, and we'll hopefully speak to you next week.
Yep.
All right, that was Rainbow, and let's bring in. Should we bring in both Ferrari boys who had races of contrasting fortune? Jensen and Danny. One of you qualified at the front, and one of you finished the race at the front.
Ouch. Wow.
Let's start with you, Jensen, because that was a great drive on the alternate strategy.
Yeah, I was really happy with it in the end. I stayed out of trouble in the first few laps. And unfortunately, I saw Danny turned around in turn 10, but he got back first, so I let him pass straight away because he was, of course, on the faster tire. And we are teammates, so we are not going to hold each other up. But yeah, I was really happy with the end result, of course. Lots of people spun, I guess, on curbs, and I also had 2 or 3 of those moments that I nearly lost it and just managed to catch the car. But yeah, just for 2 hours of practice and yeah, not really confident as well on the power in some corners and the curb. So I also drove a bit cautiously, but really happy with the end result. Starting from P13 and getting P5 in the end, and the fastest lap as well, because I didn't get it in game because I saw there was a bug where someone had a 1:15.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, extra point for fastest lap as well. So yeah, really happy with maximizing the result in the end. And yeah, I saw people lose it in front of me, like Ednick, for example. He suddenly spun and I could catch him, and at the end my tires were also degrading quite rapidly, so it was too late to catch up to El Sonny and Rainbow. But yeah, it would have been a small DRS train, so probably impossible to overtake.
Yeah, with the difference in with the old soft tires as well, they wouldn't have been that much better than the mediums.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the results screen. I think Hood got the fastest lap, unfortunately. 'Cause I think he did a 26 on the last lap.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Then I missed his lap. Yeah, it was really strange. He pitted at the end as well, with only a 3-second time penalty. And I was like, why? But
yeah, our theory is that no, because he was on like 13 lap old mediums, they would have been fine. Our theory was that he was just a reserve and he didn't want to score points. Which I mean, you know,
okay,
I don't necessarily agree with, but fair enough. That's
Yeah.
you know, it's a decision.
okay. Damn it, Hood! You could have stayed out. But yeah, that was basically. So really happy with gaining like 8 positions in the race and finishing P5.
Yeah, I mean it was a really good drive.
Yeah, thanks.
And yeah, we'll hope to see some more. I mean, are you feeling confident going into Barcelona?
Yeah, for sure. It's one of my favorite tracks, or one of my good tracks normally. So let's try to practice a little bit more. And I have my Fanatec pedals at least, so I'm gonna unbox that tomorrow and get that installed. Maybe that will help as well. I don't know.
Good stuff. Wow. Yeah, that's I don't know how much performance advantage that is, but that's really cool. Like
I have like 0 resistance in my brake and throttle pedal, so going on the power gradually is quite difficult sometimes. So maybe I can go on the power a little bit more earlier and gradually, but we have to wait and see if that's really the case, or that I adapted quite well with these pedals. But yeah, looking forward to next week.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And Danny, I mean, not the result you wanted, but the pace was really good. How are you feeling after that? Annoyed, yeah. Talk us, like, what happened in the first lap. We saw you. It was in the double left, wasn't it? That you just got. Were you just a little bit too deep and lost it under braking? What happened?
I couldn't even tell you because I broke at the normal point behind the car. I think it was too wide at the front, and they just backed up a lot more than I was expecting, probably. So I probably went on the brakes more. Rears lock, and round I go.
Yeah, no, that'll happen. Yeah, the rear locking is a thing in 2021. It wasn't really a thing in 2020, but it's difficult in 2021 because it's much more on edge on the brakes. So yeah, fair enough. And then was it the long right-hander that caught you out, the flat one? You get on the curb or something?
No, it just went on me.
Oh wow, okay.
It just went. Was having none of it.
Yeah, that's surprising.
No warning, anything. Just went.
Yeah, but 2 spins and you fought back for points. So I mean, the pace was there, so there must be some encouragement.
Yeah, it is, but it's annoying because I know I've lost out on probably an easy podium today or something stupid like that.
Yeah, I think you'd have been there or thereabouts for sure with the podium runners. Yeah, unfortunate. But yeah,
week.
Well done. Yeah, we'll hope to see you both next week. Yeah, well, we'll keep it optimistic, and yeah, we'll hope for the
optimistic, realistic, actually.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, and we'll let you go back to interview channel. And,
yeah, thanks.
Sorry, Jensen, I cut you off there. But yeah, that was our Bahrain race. It was a fun one.
Absolutely was. That makes me want to see more. Unfortunately, I'll have to be a little bit patient because there is one more week to wait for the next race, of course. We head to Spain for the second round, quite the unusual calendar, of course, because we are still waiting for Imola and those tracks to be added to the game. So we've got a weird calendar, deal with it. Spain next, and we've got the usual schedule, I believe. Tier 4 starts, when is it? Wednesday? And then, of course, in ascending order. No, wait, descending? You know what I mean, Tier 4, then Tier 3, then Tier 2, and on Saturday next week we've got Tier 1. Make sure to check that out. Thanks for watching. See you then. Goodbye.